Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. I am not new to YouTube as a viewer, but I am new to YouTube as a channel, and I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. A, because I talk a lot. B, because I feel like what I have to say is important, or that I add value to people in a community, and so I would like to participate in that. I watch a community of, I watch a lot of YouTube, and it's different areas, whether it's, I've done mukbangs, ASMR, health and wellness, true crime, beauty and home fragrance, and that's really like my favorite part, is the home fragrance. I have a passion for home fragrance in the sense of candles, and I'll have to get into history of that, but I love candles, I love self-care products, and I love health and wellness. So as you could tell by my title is Candle Nurse, A, because I couldn't think of anything else to put down. And a lot of the ones that I was trying to put down have already been taken because there's so many cool content creators that are already out there. But Candle Nurse wasn't taken. And there's two things that I'm very passionate about and I love, which is candles and nursing. So I'm a nurse. I am 38 years old and probably soon to be 39 years old. It's coming up. And I'm also a nurse, a registered nurse. My biggest pride and joy is my children. I have 3 kids. I have a daughter who is 16. She just turned 16. I have a 12-year-old son and an 8-year-old son, and they are everything. They're amazing. We obviously, nobody's perfect, and we have our it's just part of growing up, right? Just life. That's what we're having right now, is life. So there's that, and I'm a wife. I've been married to my husband, Billy, for 16 years. We're coming up on 17 years, which is a huge feat. Some of my background is, I grew up in Ogden, Utah, and was very sheltered there. I loved it there. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. It's very outdoorsy, very, familial. If you're, looking to raise a family, it felt safe, although, everywhere has their ups and downs. It was a great place to grow up. It was freezing and there was a bunch of snow, and that is just not where I want to be in life. At age 18, right after I graduated high school, I joined the military. So I was in the United States Navy, and that was a wonderful opportunity. Again, not everything is sunshines and rainbows, but if it wasn't for the military experience, I wouldn't be here. It taught me, there was just so much that I got out of joining, the military. I was in the U.S. Navy. I started off as an undesignated airman, which, let me tell you, I just didn't even know what I was getting into. I was 18 years old. So that usually, if you don't know what that means, normally when you go into the military, when you sign up for a job. And there was a phase of time during the war that started in 2003 in the Middle East, where they had undesignated job roles. And that meant that you would either go undesignated airman, or you could do undesignated seaman. And I don't know if there was any other ratings that did that, but basically you would go in and you'd work in air department, and as an undesignated, sailor, and they kind of just put you wherever the need was. And then eventually you kind of test into, and it's literally like taking a test into a rank or to a job. And so that's what I did. And so when I got there, it was a rude awakening that I had no clue what I was doing. But having said that, it was eye-opening. I met some of the greatest people in my life there. And it was a really, truly amazing experience. Fast forward through all that. I mean, that's a whole nother topic I could get into, is military and what that's about and what that's like, as a female. And I'm going to age myself because technically I would have retired last year had I stayed in. I did 5 years, and I did meet my husband, Billy, in the military. And so again, if that's something that you guys are interested in and hearing a story, I mean, obviously I don't have to get too personal, but that I could go down that road. So I have some military experience, and then, I work in healthcare. And so as soon as I got out of the military, it was a really, crappy time for workforce. It was the recession of 2008, and unemployment was through the roof. And I decided to go to school, and I didn't know again, it was like the military. I had no clue what I was going to jump into. And I saw surgical technology, and I knew that's where I wanted to be. And it actually connects very well with what I did in the military. So when I was in the Navy, I ended up becoming designated 2 years after serving on the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. That was my first duty station. And they got rid of undesignated. They said, you guys all have to get your ratings and move on or whatever. And so I picked parachute rigger, or air crew survival equipment. It's really hard to say. And basically that was packing all the survival equipment for pilots and rescue and parachutes. And I mean, there's a whole slew of things that we did. And so fast forward, although I went back, but fast forward to surgical tech, there was this correlation that I found with parachute rigger that I found with surgery tech. In parachute rigging, I was, assisting pilots and like all the necessities and, the vital equipment that they needed, and safety. Safety is a big factor, and the integrity and like the consciousness that you have to have, the ability to be honest, to do what you're supposed to do, follow instructions, get, back up, always ask for people to review what you just did for safety reasons. I could see that like transition into surgery. So that's what I did. I did surgical tech, and that's basically, if you don't know what that is, it's where you are assisting the surgeons and on the actual surgical field during procedures. And like that's a whole nother I've done that for 14 years. So I was certified surgical tech, had a good amount of experience, and while working, I did a lot of I did hospital for a couple of years, but then I did ambulatory surgery centers. And while doing that, I moved up into management. And I will tell you what, management, I love humanity. I love humans. I love helping people. I love to connect with people. And when I tell you that managing people was not for me, it was not for me. You couldn't pay me. You really couldn't pay me $500,000 to be a manager of people. I like to help people, but you can't. I don't want to manage people. Although I feel like in any type of leadership, I like to work well with people, but I like to be more clinical. I like to help patient care, do the patient care aspect of it, and not necessarily managing employees and staff and stuff like that. That was like, it was rewarding, and I learned a lot. I do see the silver lining in it, but not for me. So in 2019, the end of 2019, I went back to nursing school, quit my job, and with the full support of the place that I was working, quit my job, went to nursing school, and then the pandemic hit, and that was, I'll tell you, something else. And so that was really eye-opening because, you know, you really have to take a look, really deep look into yourself and say, is this something you really want to do, especially during the pandemic, because that it's been really rough. But I knew it's like what I loved to do. And so I finished nursing school and here I am. And so I'm currently working in the operating room. I'm switching jobs. I'm going to work closer to home in a hospital OR, and I'm really excited about it. There's some other, you know, if it wasn't hard enough that I, I'm doing all of this stuff, I'm also in my nurse practitioner program. I'm in my first semester. I'm about to finish my first semester of nurse practitioner school. It's for family nurse practitioner, and I will tell you what, sometimes I feel like I'm in over my head. But the end goal that I want to do is be a provider and an educator of health, access to health. There's just not enough primary care providers. I'm not here to preach. I'm just saying, you know, what it is, especially in the area that I'm in. And so where I live and stuff, we just like, it's detrimental that we don't have enough primary care, and there's just not enough preventative preventative medicine practice or preventative health care, I should say, where people, you know, are mostly going in being reactive to their health versus being proactive to their health. I know I'm only one person, but, you know, us nurses, we're very vocal and we advocate for, you know, human rights and advocate for, you know, autonomy and people's, you know, rights for healthcare and stuff like that. And so, not to be political or anything like that, but that's just what we do. And so, as much as I am only one person, I've kind of gotten out of the mindset where it's like, well, I'm only one person, so how can I really make a change to, you know, I am one person and like my purpose is to do this, so I'm going to do it. And by doing that, I think that A, it helps my purpose, and B, you know, it's going to add value to my community and to my family and all that stuff. So there's an end goal, but man, oh man, it's a tough you know, I told myself after my bachelor's degree that I was like not going to do any more school, and then here I am. But, you know, I was talking to one of my surgeons and he said that it seems like I'm a lifelong learner, and I do think that I am, because I do enjoy learning new things, understanding, especially about human nature, about the human body, about disease processes, about, you know, balance, that type of thing. So that's like another passion of mine that I look forward to. If I'm kind of scattered all over the place, I apologize. I have a little ADHD, but you know, I really tried to hone it back in. Okay, so so I just gave you like 15 minutes of my background. I could tell you that I live in Arizona. I live in the valley, but like on the East Valley, if that makes any sense to any of you out there. Big thing is, so I wanted to start this channel because of my two passions. So why I put Candle Nurse. So it's health and well-being. Maybe having some content that has to deal with health and well-being. And I, you know, put a disclaimer out there. I'm not a physician. I'm not a provider. I'm not ever going to diagnose or treat. I love to educate. That's basically what nurses are known for. We're big educators. We will hear you out. And then we try to give you the direction of where you need to go to get, you know, to take care of what you need to take care of. However, it's not medical advice. Nowhere would I like diagnose or treat or anything like that. I that's a huge disclaimer. Basically, I want to talk about health and wellness, or deal with health and wellness from my own personal stories, from my own personal experience. in a generic way that has nothing to do with any specific experience with anybody, but I love to talk about this stuff, and my family and a lot of my friends were like, you should just go on and create a platform. And why not? I'm sure there's some people out there that'll want to join. So that's part of it. The other part of it is this other passion and love that I have for home fragrance, specifically candles, although I do have other, I don't melt necessarily wax or anything, but I love candles. And that's only part of it. So I want to talk about, the candles. I want to talk about, there's actually a community on YouTube. That's the candle community that I have been following for a while. I just got into candles. I can go into that story later, but I just got into candles like 2019, right before the pandemic is when I started getting into it. And then the COVID just, I think it added to a situation where, I just went overboard. And so I have a lot of candles. I've just started branching out of, Bath and Body Works was my mainstay, was my go-to. And I love them. And then I started realizing, after you get into it, like their sales, they're just so easy to purchase a lot from. There's nothing wrong with them. I have one right down the street from my house. And so it's great, but it's also caused problems because, you get into these sales or you get into these, what is it? Someone called it FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's just like you want to buy. And so I've done these semi-annual sales and man, you just go crazy. So, I've got a huge amount of body care that not one human can use, let alone my family can't use it. So, we'll deal with that. I'm probably going to be doing some decluttering, which would be awesome to talk about. The fragrance is here. So body care is a big deal, but candle home fragrance is a huge deal. So the other factor of having this channel is have somewhere to vent, have somewhere to talk. I realized in following, there's some really amazing YouTubers out there and creators that, have opened my eyes to other fragrances, into other ways to achieve home fragrance safely if there's issues with breathing issues and stuff like that. And different brands. So I actually have like a huge collection, and I have kind of candles from all over. I've got some luxuries. I've got Bath and Body Works. I've got Kringle. I've got Homeworks. And Candleberry, that's a new one that I just got. And I'm really excited because I have a huge cookie jar coming, and we'll talk about that. But by following some of these YouTubers, every time I watch their videos, it's like I wish we could have a conversation. There's some people, like, there's a specific channel, there's Melanie from Mr. Kong's mom, that I just love her channel. Katie from Katie's Joyful Life. She's in Arizona, and so I connect with her, at least through watching her content, that I connect with her a lot because we live in the same climate and that type of thing. We have a similar house setup that she describes, open concept type of thing. And then the one that I really love too is Coffee and Candles, Sarita. She's just really, I would love to sit down and have coffee with her and talk about candles because she's so passionate in the way that she just describes these fragrances. My whole family just gets a kick, and I really look forward to their content. So I do. There was one that I watched that he's not posting anymore, Josh from Touch the Fire Twice. I really loved his content, and I don't know what happened. I hope he's okay, number one. Number two, I just go back and I've been watching like the historical content that he's posted. So I hope he's okay, and he comes out with new stuff. But anyway, his stuff's really, really good if you're ever interested. I thought I'd put that out there because their content is really informational and it's fun and I connect with it. So having said that, circle back, close the loop, is that I want to be a part of the community. Now, I'm not, obviously, it's just I want to put my thoughts out there as far as adding my perspective and that type of thing. The other thing that I was very encouraged by with a lot of these, especially Melanie and Katie, is being accountable for your collection, maybe shopping your own collection, maybe not having to buy every new thing that's out there. Storage space. I have some really beautiful shelves that my husband got me that I'm able to use, but it's gotten a lot of hand. I have a lot of candles and I can't even count. So that's the other factor, is I want to be accountable for what I have and letting that guide me into making better and more, smart shopping or purchases when it comes to candles. That and it's hard because I really rely on their reviews. So they are Melanie and Katie and I just got into another channel, the Philly Candle Man. I'm sorry, I don't know that one by heart, but he is really, really awesome and really good. So I like to watch his content. It just started, and basically I love to watch their reviews because now it's helping me make better decisions on purchasing, because like in Kringle and Homeworks, there's not really a store or anything by me that I can go and smell these things like you can Bath and Body Works, which makes it tough. But it's really exciting to kind of start to get into different areas, different businesses, different, I lose my words and I'm staring. Okay. My eyes are they're at the camera now, but I look a lot at myself because I can see myself, and that's funny. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys. And if it does, oh well, I'll get better with the next ones, but very animated. Anyway, I'm excited to be, to be able to dive in and get experience with different candle companies and what they have to offer. And also the other thing that I've learned about is the different ways in which you can, add the fragrance to your house. So like candles, for instance, you don't just have to be burning candles, you can be warming them. And then I have a candle crock. There's another YouTube channel, Stace in the Place. She's awesome. She loves to warm her candles, and I didn't believe it. And then I started warming them. And for instance, I'll give you an example, Volcano Capri Blue. I've heard nothing but wonderful things by people I know. And so I got one for Christmas, and I got a couple. I went to Anthropologie, bought a couple the small version of them, the Volcano candle, and it smells so good. And I went to burn it, and it didn't burn very well, and it smelled like, all I could smell was like burning wick. And it was sad because I really wanted, my friends were like, no, you have to, it smells so good. But I'll tell you what, as soon as I put it under the warmer, it did fill my room, and it did for about, it's just their small little candle. Oh, I wish I had one right here. I'll be doing going over my candle collection, so you guys will see all the candles I have. Eventually I'll just be throwing up different, videos of my different brands, whatever. So anyway, I stuck that little one under a candle lamp that's back there. It's kind of blurry, but right there. And I'll tell you what, it filled my room up for like 4 or 5 days straight. And I know with the candle lamp, you're supposed to pour off wax, but with that little one, the candle lamp it melted all of it. So I just let it melt all of it 4 or 5 days. And by the 6th day, you couldn't really smell it anymore. So it was over. So that was good to know, because when I tried burning it, all I smelled was like burning in my room, and it wasn't a good experience, and it tunneled. And so anyway, so I know this video is long. I'm not trying to take up too much of your time, but I'm excited to have this channel. I look forward to go over content. So some things I want to do is I'm going to go over some of my collection. Well, no, not some of it. We should do my whole collection. And the reason for that is I want it documented so that I can go back and see like maybe where I've steered off and gone wrong and just done too much. There is a lot of candles here in this top row specifically. Yeah, and then down this row right here. That they are candles that I'm probably going to declutter. So that's not even my whole collection. Those are candles that I've already gone through and kind of separated and that need to find a new home, whether that's, I'm, probably going to put them up on Mercari or whether it's gifting to families and friends or that. But they need to find a new home. They are taking up space and they're not really scents that I either I have way too many of them and so I already have a couple in my collection and I don't need that many backups. Or some of them are scents that I blind buy, and I'm going to be honest with you, for a long time, and I've known this for a little while now, but for a long time, for some of these candles, I didn't know that you could go back and exchange them with Bath and Body Works for stuff that you really like. So anyway, nobody needs that many candles. I couldn't even, I'm going to be honest with you, with the amount of candles that I have, there's no way that I could even go through them all in a year. 300, yeah, I have over 300 something. There's a lot. So I'll be addressing that. So that's another reason why I want to go through and show my collection. Also, I have some luxury candles. There's some that I have some rare Bath and Body Works candles that I don't, and some luxury ones that I've been holding on to because it's weird. I have this weird thing where I felt like I have to hold on to it. And I have a feeling one of them is like not smelling the same way it did. So we need to burn them because that's why I have these candles. I bought candles because I love home fragrance. I want my home to smell good. I want, to enjoy. I love the ambiance. I love the flame, the look of the flame. But I do like the idea of getting the scents out of it. So here's my plan. I will put up some content with health and wellness, intermittently. I don't have a plan to do that like every week until obviously if I get used to doing this or if I have some comments or something where people want to have a discussion, I'll do that. But with my candle situation, I have a lot of videos that I'm going to be putting up that won't be this long, that will hopefully go over my collection. So I'll do a collection video. We'll go over decluttering, body care. We'll go over some candle reviews. I have some new stuff. I've got some Luxe candles from Homeworks. I've got the big cookie jar from Candleberry. And I love, I haven't really talked about though that I'm like loving is Kringle. I'm like, I don't know where I've been, obviously checked out. I just have like a ton of Bath and Body Works. I've got a good amount of Kringle. I've got some of their reserve line. It's so good. It's so good. Favorite candles. My scents are like dark, deep fruits. So the rare candles I have like pepper plum, crimson velvet. I've got smoked incense and berries. I have like 9 wine cellar candles and I have those I'm cherishing. I had originally like 15 and over time I've slowly been burning them. That's the scent type that I love. And so Kringle came out with a candle called California Cab. And at first I was kind of like, but I'll tell you what, it is my favorite. So I can go over stuff like that. Biggest thing is, that's what I want to do. So I look forward to continuing to make videos. And really, there's no like rhyme or reason to it. I just want to do it and see where it goes. And even, possibly some vlogs or something like that, day in my life. I think it will really help me with my nurse practitioner program because, I need motivation to get through that. I'm going through WGU, and so it's until I get to my clinicals, it's basically, I'm not on my own, but it's, I'm doing it all from home. There's no classroom. situation where I go to a campus or something. And so that was different. And so I'm doing okay. I'm adjusting well. I actually like that. You know, I'm on my own time. But maybe I could get into education. That'll be another video that I'll do, is about education, my experience through nursing school, in case there's anybody out there that's trying to make it, that needs a little motivation, especially going back to nursing school in older age. Motivating. And yeah, motivational stuff. I mean, I'm also going to be real, because again, life gets tough sometimes, but I like to try to see the good side of it and the humanity side of it. So anyway, I appreciate your time. If you made it this far, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, I would love that. A thumbs up would be great. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.